Hello, this is part 2 of my conversion of a bass guitar into a fretless bass guitar. And I should point out that this makes no sense, really, economically or in many other ways, except that it's a hobby. Because this bass could easily have been made as a fretless with perhaps even less labour than it was originally made as a fretted one in the factory. And I am going to all the trouble of taking those frets out and inserting hardwood pieces of veneer. It's a lot of work, and I don't recommend anyone else should do this really, but let's press on. So I've made shims, every one of which is a different length, ready to be inserted into the slots. So I got as far as the 12th fret, basically halfway. It's slow. So after use of a sharp chisel, it looks like this. In the end, once I've filled the slots on the whole fretboard, then I will sand the whole fretboard and polish it. Pulling out the frets above the 12th fret was really straightforward, but from the 12th fret on down they were much more difficult. And as you can perhaps see here, there's a line of some kind of synthetic glue under each fret, so they were glued in. It glitters a bit like nylon, which I'm not sure what kind of glue it is. I don't think it's brittle enough to be super glue. So yeah, so they were quite tricky, and I had to use more upward pulling force than I did lower down. And I also started to get bits of chip out as well, which I've had to repair in one or two places by pushing back the chip and dripping super glue on it. So yeah, easy down here, harder up here. So what I'm doing now is just taking off the excess height with a sharp chisel. And it really does have to be sharp. Fortunately for Christmas 2 years ago, I got this diamond sharpener, which is great. With a properly sharp chisel, it's a very satisfying job to be shaving off. It's hardwood, it's ash, not the hardest of woods, but it's hardwood. Described as white ash by the Oslo Finnair company. There's their name. And I'll turn it around and do the high points on these others. There's a bit here I can get. The more careful chiseling I do, the less sanding I'll have to do to get them down to the right level. So that's the chiseling finished. My chiseling technique wasn't perfect, but it will do. So the next thing I must do is make the neck as straight as I possibly can using the truss rod adjuster, which is here. And it had quite a significant back bow once I took the strings off. So the strings pull it into the right kind of tension. But I do need it to be as straight as possible because my sanding beam is a straight sanding beam. It's probably worth pointing out that the tools I've needed for this have taken me years and too much money. Those are nut files down there and fret pullers and various other things. And there's more on different shelves. Yeah, Non-trivial. Not all of it costs money though. This sanding beam I just made from a piece of extruded aluminium, part of a shop refit, and so there was a skip in town piled high with this kind of stuff, so I just sawed it to length. Other people use old spirit levels and stick sandpaper on that. This is on with double-sided tape, so it should peel off easily. So I'm attempting to do this sanding without removing the nut because I would just rather not. It's a perfectly good nut and it looks well seated, so we'll see if this works. It might not, but we shall see. Turns out that this fret end file is also extremely useful. So that's finished. I need to put on some sort of oil or lacquer, I don't know yet, but first I'm going to put the old strings back on and see how it plays.